I thought the job was done. It wasn't. I'm pulling the engine from this car again, and this time I'll show you the mistakes I've made. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it's all about round 2. Yes, we'll be pulling this engine from this car for the second time. You know, sometimes the job isn't done until it's really done. And today, I'll show you step by step mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned to make your next engine pull a lot smoother. So why are we pulling the engine for the second time? Well, after our last rebuild, a mystery rattle showed up, only when the engine is cold and not at operating temperature. Before we get started, can you guess what the sound is? If you can, put your guesses down below in the comments. If you're right, I'll give you a shout out on the next video. Sometimes these gremlins, they don't show up until you've taken the car for a spin. So today, I'll be removing that engine. And if you ever wondered what's easier or different the second time around, you're about to find out. Now, it's going to be easier for me because in the previous removal of this engine, I've already cleaned up everything. So there's no need for me to go ahead and clean that up again. So that's going to be a bit of a time saver. First up, lifting the car safely. I'm using an hydraulic jack and some axle stands that I've placed under the subframe. What you want to do is just give it a quick shake test, and if there's an excessive wobble, you might want to reposition your axle stands. But in this case, I'm pretty satisfied that my position is correctly. By the way, today's MVP tool is this jack. This jack has seen some serious work, has done some serious lifting, and it's never let me down. Next up, what you want to do is grab an oil pan and drain the oil. While I have the oil drain, I'll start off by removing the air induct, airbox, battery and battery tray. It's always a good idea to remove the battery first. take this front end off. I'll be removing the bumper, the headlights and the front radiator support off. The front radiator support is going to come off in one piece. Now on this particular vehicle, the AC system was already been discharged by the previous guy that did the job, that removed the engine. If you are going to be doing a similar job like this and your AC system is still charged, I would recommend getting it professionally discharged. Or what you can do is, it is possible to remove or disconnect the AC compressor and swing it off to the side and tie it down, so that way your system still stays closed and you can then carefully remove the engine. I'm about to remove this radiator support. While I do that, I'd like you to let me know in the comment section, do you prefer working on newer cars or older cars? My personal opinion is I like these new cars. It's a lot more work, a lot more challenging, but I just like them. That's my opinion. What's your thoughts? Leave them down in the comment section below. Now this is where labeling really counts. I'll be disconnecting all the radiator hoses, the fuel lines, the heater core hoses, the exhaust mount, exhaust manifolds, the engine mounts, and all the electrical connections. I'd recommend, if this is your first time, take lots of photos. Now I'm not going to do this at this stage because I've done this a few times, but I'm quite familiar with the layout of this engine. But if it's your first time, I'd recommend taking lots of photos and label everything. The future you would thank the current you for doing that. Learn from my mistakes. One time I did this job, I did forget to label 2 harnesses and it took me hours to trace that fault. Rookie move. Don't be me. here's another top tip for you. When you're working under the car, make sure to disconnect this wire. I've seen it a bunch of times where people have forgotten about this wire, and when they yank the engine backwards, they break it off. If that was you, hit the like button. If you haven't done it before, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be the first one to put my hand up. I've done it before. I've yanked it out. Alright, it's time for some heavy lifting. I have disconnected all of the hoses, all of the connectors are disconnected, the exhaust is off, and the drive shaft are loosened off. What I'm going to do now is double check that I've got everything disconnected, and I'm going to hook up the engine stand by the proper mountings, which is one over here and one over here. Right, let's do this. With the engine out, I can show you exactly what went wrong and how I'm going to fix it. And I'll walk you through step by step of reassembling this engine, as we need to go deep into this engine to get to the root cause of the problem. But that is going to need to wait till next time. You don't want to miss that. That's all we've got time for today, guys. If you've enjoyed the content, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have any other stories of how your engine rebuild went, please drop them down in the comments below. I'll sure to read each and every one of them. And as always, stay safe, stay curious. Until next time, see you guys.
I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough